You're listening to The Coffee Hour. I'm Andy Bates.
I'm Sarah Eggleseth.
What do student art projects and LCEF have in common? We're going to learn more about that today. Thanks to Concordia University, Wisconsin for supporting The Coffee Hour. Find out more about Concordia University, Wisconsin at cuw.edu.
Live uncommon.
Joining us, Rehema Kavugha. She's Director of Synod Relations for LCEF. Rehema, welcome back to The Coffee Hour.
Thank you so much for having me. It's good to be here, as always.
LCEF recently hosted an art contest. Tell us a little bit more about the art contest.
LCEF decided to do this art contest as a part of celebrating the Synod 175th anniversary. And we really just wanted the opportunity to connect with some of our younger investors and the youth of the church. We thought as we were celebrating the many years that we know that the church continues to live and grow through its young people. So we wanted opportunity to tap into that. I wanted to do something that was really a little out of our comfort zone, as art is such an integral part of the life of the church as well as music. So we wanted to tap into that resource, which is why we came up with doing an art contest.
Who was invited to submit art for this contest?
We sent invitations to 729 schools, which included all of our Lutheran elementary, middle, and high schools, as well as the universities. And then we sent it out to congregations. So any student starting at the age of kindergarten through college who either attended an LCMS school or university or was connected to an LCMS congregation was eligible to participate.
What was the theme or what was the guidance for the students who are submitting art for this contest?
We went with the theme, Only Jesus, No Other Name. And we had it broken down into categories of kindergarten through 5th grade, 6th through 12th grade, and then college-age students. And they were allowed to submit in two types of categories, either 2D or 3D work. And I just have to say, we were blown away by what we received. It was so neat to get the opportunity to see all of this artwork. We received 574 entries for this art contest. One of the key places, besides some phone calls and emails that I received, was at the LEA National Convention, which was in October, where we got to talk with educators. And what I heard time and time again was they were so thankful for the opportunity to connect faith and arts. Teachers, parents, grandparents, aunts and uncles, whoever helped these students really took the time to let them look at other iconic artwork of the church as well. So I got to reflect on that and really got to ask the question, what does it mean to say Jesus, no other name? And what does that look like? So they got to use another sense. And so that was so much fun. And students had a great time exploring different art mediums in order to create their artwork.
Tell us about the awards for the art contest.
So students, again, in these three categories could do either 2D or 3D work. And based off of the age or based off of how they finished in first, second, or third, they were awarded a Visa gift card with various amounts from us. And then as well as just a fun box of goodies from LCEF. So they got a little kind of swag pack that included items such as sunglasses, LCF Legos, some notebooks for some of our older students, and a variety of other things, which was so much fun to put together. We had 47 winners who represented 23 different states and one country from Germany. And so we are excited. They will actually be up on display in the LCF booth at Synod Convention. So we encourage you, if you're attending in Milwaukee, to stop by and check it out.
Rehema Kavugha, Director of Synod Relations for LCEF. Thank you so much for being my guest on the Coffee Hour.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now we get to chat with winners of the LCEF Art Contest. Joining us now, we have Lorraine, Hester. Lorraine, welcome to the Coffee Hour.
Thank you.
Congratulations on being one of the winners of the LCEF Art Contest. Tell us about what grade you're going into this year and where you are a student.
I'm going into 10th grade this year, and I go to the school here on the installation, the high school here for music, their music program, the bands. And then for everything else, I go to Visionberg Academy.
All right. You said here on the installation. Where is here?
Here is Germany. I live in the Kaiserslautern military community area.
Is art something that you like to do all the time anyway?
When I have time, when I'm not busy with schoolwork and music things, yeah.
So tell us about the artwork that you submitted for the contest.
It's built around the second article of the Creed, and I tried to encompass all the key elements of Jesus' life, death, and resurrection, all those parts. And I wrote on the bottom in the old German style, the Fraktur, the words of actually the 5th verse of the hymn Jesus, Name of Wondrous Love, which is by William Howe.
It sounds like hymns and the Creed were inspiration. Anything else that was really inspiration or helped you put this idea together for your art project?
Yeah, it was inspired actually by the beautiful and very colorful stained glass in the cathedrals and churches in this area here in Europe. That was my other inspiration.
How did you do the artwork? Was it colored pencil or painting or like mixed media? How did you put this together?
So it was mainly watercolors, but I also used a calligraphy pen for the writing on the bottom.
How long have you been doing calligraphy?
A few years, maybe, like 3, 2. I don't remember.
Have you taken any art lessons? Like who taught you to do all of this? Are you self-taught or are you taking lessons? Are your parents involved?
Basically self-taught. I've had the art classes you have at school, right? But I mean, otherwise, I just do it myself.
What did you think when you found out that you were a winner of the LCEF art contest?
I was so surprised because when I submitted it, I was like overwhelmed by like 10 other things going on. And so, including things like midterms. And so it was, I just submitted it. I was so hasty and I was like, well, it's going to get in. But I had friends who I had seen what they submitted and I thought it was so much better. And yet, unfortunately, they didn't win. And I was so surprised that I did. So.
Congratulations, Lorraine. Thanks so much for spending some time with us on the Coffee Hour. Looking forward to seeing your artwork when we get to Milwaukee.
Thank you.
Now we have Ava Anderson. Good morning, Ava.
Hi.
And we also have the Schnare family. We have Alayna. Good morning, Alayna.
Good morning.
Lucia.
Good morning.
And we have Isaiah.
Good morning.
And Juda.
Good morning.
Let's start with Ava. What grade are you going into and where are you a student?
I'm going into 6th grade, and I'm a student at First Lutheran in Knoxville.
And the Schnare family, are you all students at the same school?
Yes, but
Alayna, what grade are you going into?
I'm going into 9th grade, and I'm going to go to Wittenberg Academy.
Very good. And Lucia, what grade are you going into?
Going into 6th grade, and I'm still at St. Paul and Hamilton.
And Isaiah, what grade are you going into?
I'm going to 4th grade, and I'm at St.
And Judah, what grade are you going into?
4th grade at St. Paul Lutheran School at Hamilton.
Tell us about the art that you submitted for the contest, Ava.
I have a heart and a cross in the middle to symbolize that Jesus is always at the center of our lives. And then I have a bunch of names surrounding the heart to symbolize that he loves all of us and we're all part of his family.
Very good. What medium did you use? Was that watercolor or something else?
I think it was paint. Yeah.
Lucia, tell us about your artwork.
My artwork is the Alpha and Omega with a blue background.
What did you use to create your art?
I used glass and I fused it together.
So you did 3D art. Alayna, tell us about your art.
Mine was a picture and it said Jesus. I used a stencil to draw a sunset with that. So words, war and sunset. And then middle, I drew a silhouette of Jesus on the cross.
Isaiah, what was your artwork?
Mine was a white, was a cross with the squares that were shining on.
Okay. And did you draw that with colored pencils or paint, or how did you do that?
I used glass.
Okay, very good. And Judah, what was your artwork?
Made of glass.
So let's talk about what inspired you to create what you created for this contest. Alayna, what was your inspiration?
So I remember sitting down thinking about what I wanted to do. And then I just thought,
Well, if it has to do with Jesus and his name, then I'm going to put Jesus on here. So I wanted to have it big and bold and in really pretty colors. And I really liked drawing and coloring sunsets. So I decided to put those two together. And then I also really liked the silhouettes that my teacher had printed out to show us. So I based it off of that and went forth from there.
Lucia, what about you? What inspired you?
I didn't really have inspiration. I just thought it would look really cool on glass instead of on paper. Yeah, or make it win.
Isaiah, what about you?
Well, when I heard about it, I didn't really know what to do. And I had just remembered that my grandma does glass, so I decided I'd make a cross with glass.
Very cool. Judah, what about you? What inspired you?
I just was thinking about it. I don't know.
Ava, what inspired you to create your artwork?
The fact that Jesus loves everyone, I guess.
Ava, what did you think when you found out that you were a winner of the LCEF art contest?
I didn't believe it at first, and then I was really surprised because I've never really thought that I'm a good artist, and then I won it, so I'm surprised.
Well, congratulations. All right, Schnare family, who was first to find out that you were all winners of the art contest?
No, I think it might have been Judah.
What did you think, Judah, when you found out that you won? When you won?
Yeah.
How about the rest of the Schnare family? Were you guys surprised that you all won?
Yes.
Congratulations to the Schnare family. Congratulations to Ava Anderson as well. Thanks for being our guest on the Coffee Hour.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're listening to the Coffee Hour. I'm Andy Bates.
I'm Sarah Gulseth.
At Concordia University, Wisconsin, we believe you were created for a reason: to use your God-given gifts to help others, to live a life of self-sacrifice in a me-first world, to live a life that's uncommon. Whether you're taking one of 50-plus online programs or learning with us in person on the shores of Lake Michigan, you'll be equipped to make an uncommon impact. Learn more at cuw.edu. Concordia University, Wisconsin. Live uncommon.
Welcome back to the Coffee Hour. We are chatting with friends who are participants in the LCEF art contest. Art will be on display at the LCMS convention taking place in Milwaukee. Joining us now, we have Mrs. Leamon. She's art teacher at Our Savior Lutheran School in Houston, Texas. Mrs. Leamon, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
We also have Sophia Williams. Sophia, welcome, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Sophia, tell us about what grade you're going into and what school you attend.
I'm going to 5th grade, and the school I go to is Our Savior Lutheran.
Tell us a little bit about the artwork that you did submit for the contest. How would you describe your art piece?
It was how God is always with me in all the seasons, and I got it from Andy Warhol.
What kind of medium did you use? Did you draw or paint or use paper?
With watercolors.
Tell us a little bit more about what your art looked like.
It had a tree with the tomb that Jesus was put in whenever he passed away, and then there was the 3 crosses in the background.
Mrs. Leamon, tell us, how did you first find out about the LCEF art contest?
Our principal, Mrs. Telke, brought it to us in the fall and let us know that was great opportunity for the kids to explore their own personal expression. And I left it really open-ended for them. They could choose any medium, any size, and really allowed them to just go with it, what they felt, how best express them within the terms of the project. So it was just great to see how different each child expressed themselves at the end of it.
How many students do you teach at Our Savior? Because you teach a variety of grades at Our Savior.
I do. This past year, I taught grade 3 through 8. And this upcoming year, I'll go first all the way up through 8. So it's just great to see them grow through the years and progress and open up and really blossom as artists.
How many students did you have that submitted art for the contest?
We submitted 5 different pieces, but every grade level participated. So even down to our 3rd graders, they chose to participate in their own little way. And it was just really neat to see them open up and explore a very broad sentence in a way that felt personal to them.
How did you feel when you learned you had a student winner?
So excited. Sophia is such a creative artist, and she does so well expressing herself. It didn't surprise me because Sophia is just really lovely in her art. She shows very fine detail in what she does. And it was so telling of who she is and her love of God and Christ. And it really came through in her artwork. And she had these wonderful technicalities in her piece of exploring the watercolors in detail, but also having these broad strokes of the background in the sky. It just was really beautiful. And I felt so sad submitting it because I knew we would never see it again.
But now I get to see it when I go to Milwaukee in the near future.
Now everybody gets to enjoy it. Exactly.
Sophia, what did you feel when you first found out that you were a winner of the LCEF art contest?
I was really, really excited because I was really proud that I actually got in. It's very sure.
Congratulations, Sophia and Mrs. Leamon. Thanks so much for being with us on the Coffee Hour.
Thanks so much.
We are talking with the winners of the LCEF art contest. Joining us in studio, we have Pearl Curtis. Hello, Pearl.
Hi.
And we also have Eve Curtis. Hi, Eve.
Hello.
What kind of art did you choose to submit for that art contest?
I chose a fabric collage, and my grandma, who is a seamstress, she makes vestments and paraments. She had some scrap fabric, and Mom had the idea of a fabric collage, so I had a golden cross and then the other colors of the church year surrounding it.
That is very exciting. Did you get to use scraps of vestment fabric for this?
Yes, I did.
Ooh, so that's a really beautiful fabric that you got to use. How did you put the fabric collage together?
I just used glue, and I cut it. I glued it onto cardboard, and then I cut the cardboard and glued it back together.
Pearl, what did you do for your art for this contest?
I cross-stitched an Alpha Omega. My grandma had the idea, and she found me a pattern, and I started doing it. So for the A, the inside was dark gold, and then the outside was light. And then for the O, the inside was dark red, and the outside was light red.
Have you done cross-stitch before?
Yes.
Oh, so you're a cross-stitch artist. This is nothing new for you, then.
No.
Pearl, what grade are you going into?
I'm going to go into 4th grade this year.
Mm-hmm. And Eve, how about you?
I'm going into the 6th grade.
And what school are you students at?
We are attending St. Paul Lutheran School.
Pearl, what was your inspiration for your art?
Well, I really like the verse about Alpha Omega, where Jesus says, I am the Alpha Omega, the beginning and end. I am he who comes before and after and who is to come.
Eve, what was your inspiration?
I was just thinking about things in the church year since the theme was only Jesus, no other name. So of course, the first thing that came to my mind was the cross.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Now, you both mentioned your grandma. How else did she help you think about these art projects and think about how you could use the fiber and the fabric for these art projects?
Yeah, she taught me how to cross-stitch when I was 3, and she said, well, why don't you cross-stitch something with linen with gold thread? And I've always really liked sewing, and so when she had the idea of a sewing project, it just sounded really fun to me.
Eve?
Mom really helped me put it all together, but Grandma did supply all the fabric for me.
Grandmas are great like that.
Grandmas are wonderful.
What did you think? What did you feel when you found out that you were a winner?
Well, I was pretty excited, and then I found out that 9 other people from our school were also winners, and that was exciting.
That's pretty exciting. How about you, Pearl?
Yeah, I was also pretty excited, especially when I found out that, my best friend was also a winner.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for sharing your stories with us and submitting your art to the LCEF art contest.
You're welcome.
Joining us now, Noah Casper. Noah, welcome to the Coffee Hour.
Hi.
Tell us what grade you're in and where you are a student.
I'm going into 10th grade, and I'm a student at Faith Lutheran Middle School and High School, Las Vegas, Nevada. I learned about the contest through 2 programs I'm a part of at my school, one being the Art Conservatory and one of them being NHS, National Art Honor Society.
Tell us what you did for the LCEF contest.
So the art prompt was only Jesus. So I wanted it to incorporate in my sport, which I do wrestling.
Oh, very cool.
So my idea was to have Jesus throwing the devil. And my motivation was that Bible verse that talks about how Jesus can overcome sin, death, and the devil. And so I kind of just based it off of wrestling and all that.
Where did you look for inspiration? Were you watching hours and hours of wrestling on TV to prepare for this?
I mean, I already do, so.
I appreciate the honesty. Yeah. What medium was this? Was this watercolor or drawing? Tell us about that.
I drew it, and I used like color pencils and stuff like that to fill it in.
You drew human figures, is that right?
Yeah, I did.
Those are hard to do.
Yeah, it was not easy.
Tell us more about what your artwork looks like. I'm really curious now.
So I have Jesus like throwing the devil backwards, like a suplex, and I drew the devil with like almost like a snake-like look, and I have Jesus in his robe and everything, and then I put a circle around it with the Bible verse around it.
I'm sure people are really going to love seeing that in Milwaukee at the convention. What did you think when you learned that you were a winner of the contest?
So much joy came because this is like the first contest I've like ever won. It was really cool to think like, wow, I took third. Like, this is really cool.
Congratulations, Noah. Thanks for being our guest in the coffee hour and sharing about your artwork with us.
Thank you so much.
Joining us now, Irene Ball. Welcome to the coffee hour.
Thanks.
Irene, tell us what grade you're going into and what school you go to.
I'm going into 5th grade, and I go to St. Paul Lutheran School in Hamilton, Illinois.
And we also have Chase Erickson. Welcome to the coffee hour, Chase. And what grade are you going into, and what school are you at?
I'm going into 4th on homeschool. I do like a part-time option where I go to a Christian school for art, some other subjects.
Tell us about the artwork that you did for the art contest, Chase.
Well, I already had the drawing complete, but I just added a background to it. And it's like Jesus with words of the sun behind him.
Did you use pencil or colored pencil?
I use colored pencil, and the background I use watercolor.
Irene, tell us about your artwork. What did you decide to do for the art contest?
Well, I used watercolor paper, and I used red and black and green and blue and purple and pink, and I cut it out to look like shards of glass. So I made like a mosaic, and I drew the red in the shape of a cross on the black background. And then I glued the green and blue and the purple and pink in the 4 corners.
What inspired you to create these works of art, Irene?
Well, I saw a really beautiful mosaic stained glass window in a church. That was the picture. And I thought it would be really cool to make it kind of like that.
Chase, what about you? What inspired you to create your art?
I don't know, the Bible.
Chase, what did you think when you found out that you were a winner of the LCEF art contest?
I thought that was like a little contest where we got like $10 in a pack of colored pencils, but I figured it out as like something a lot bigger.
Something bigger. Were you excited about that?
Yeah.
Irene, how about you? What did you think when you found out that you were a winner of the LCEF art contest?
Well, I thought it was really cool that everybody would get to see my art at the convention. And my dad's going to the convention, so there's all my sisters. They're going to be pages, so I thought it would be cool for them to see it.
Congratulations to Chase and Irene. Thanks for being our guest. Thanks, Irene. Thanks, Chase.
Thanks.
Joining us now, Eli, welcome to the coffee hour.
Thank you.
Eli, tell us what grade you're going into and where you are a student.
I'm going into 5th grade, and I go to St. Paul's Lutheran School in Concordia.
In Concordia, Missouri. And now we also have Arabella joining us. Arabella, welcome to the coffee hour.
Hello.
Arabella, tell us about what grade you're in and where you go to school.
I'm going to be entering my sophomore year of college. I'm attending Concordia University in Seward, Nebraska.
And we also have Serena joining us today. Serena, welcome to the coffee hour.
Thank you.
And tell us what grade you are in and where you are a student.
I'm going to be a freshman this next year at Hope Lutheran High School, and I go to school in Winona, Minnesota.
Let's talk about the art that all three of you submitted. We'll start with you, Eli. What was the art that you submitted for the LCEF art contest?
I wanted my project to look 3D, so I took 2 pieces of wood, a platform and a backdrop,
I made a red heart out of string and nails on the backdrop and used a medium and small piece of wood for the platform to represent a hill for the cross I put on the platform and would burn Jesus across it.
Arabella, tell us about your artwork. What did you choose to submit?
I chose to just use pencil and eraser, far less complicated. That's my comfort, is just sketching, and it actually took me a little bit to figure out what I wanted to do, but all it really is the crucifixion with Jesus in the center and the two robbers. And then I just focused on my shading on like different aspects of the drawing, but my main focus was the three in the middle with the crosses. I just wanted that to be my main focus.
Serena, tell us about the art you submitted.
So I've always liked acrylic painting, so I chose to do a painting using acrylics. And I did it on a canvas, a kind of smaller size canvas. But I did a bluish black dark background, and then I did a silhouette of the manger with Mary, Joseph, and Jesus in the middle. And then as kind of a shadow, I did Jesus' name in Greek or something, like going out from the manger. So it was like the staple shadow was his name.
Very good. So let's talk about the inspiration for your art. What inspired you to create the pieces that you created? Serena, we'll start with you.
Well, my dad, he's a pastor, so I've always seen like different ways you can write Jesus, his name at least. Mm-hmm. And so I remembered that one specifically that I used. And so I searched online and looked for that. And then my older sister, she's got an art major in college, and I've always looked up to her. So that's kind of where I found my inspiration in my family.
That's awesome. Arabella, what about you?
I had a hard time trying to figure out what I wanted to do at first. So I just started talking to members of my congregation as well as my mom. And so talking to them kind of like having them look at the verse 4:12, getting from like what they're thinking and making up my own idea of what I wanted to do. That was kind of my inspiration on exactly what I wanted to put on my paper, what I wanted to do with my art.
Eli, what about you? What was your inspiration?
I brainstormed ideas about the theme with my family. I knew I wanted to use string art, wood burning, and wood carving. I wanted to show Jesus' love for everyone.
What did you feel, Eli, when you first found out you were a winner?
I was excited about winning, proud of my hard work, and called my grandparents and neighbor right away to share the news.
Arabella, what did you think or what did you feel when you found out you were a winner of the LCEF art contest?
I was very excited and kind of shocked because I actually just took my first art class in high school my senior year, so I wasn't expecting to get anywhere near the top 5. So when I heard that I got second place, I was very excited.
Serena, what did you think when you found out you were a winner?
I also felt excited and shocked and also kind of nervous because I've never really won anything involving art before, let alone like national competition. So a lot of different emotions.
Congratulations to all of you, and I look forward to seeing your artwork in the near future in Milwaukee, Wisconsin at the LCMS convention. Thanks so much to our guests today, Serena, Arabella, and Eli. Thanks for joining us on the Coffee Hour.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're listening to the Coffee Hour. I'm Eddie Bates.
I'm Sarah Gulseth.
The Coffee Hour with Andy and Sarah is a production of KFUO. To support the Coffee Hour and KFUO Radio, visit KFUO.org. You can also text KFUO to 41444 or send an email to gifts@KFUO.org. And you can call us at 800-844-0524. KFUO. Christ for you, anytime, anywhere.